the conflicts, including the conflict in Idlib, in Syria, in Libya, has been, if not halted, has been slowed down by the coronavirus, because now everyone has something greater to worry about. Now, we do see some fighting in Libya. The forces, the eastern forces, loyal to renegade General Commander Khalifa Haftar, are still trying to continue their assault into the Libyan capital Tripoli, which is controlled by the UN-backed GNA government. However, they have been slowed down not only by the coronavirus, but also the presence of Turkish troops and the presence of Turkish-backed mercenaries, mainly from Syria, who are in Tripoli, who are helping the recognized government push back Khalifa Haftar's forces. However, they did make some gains in the Abu Salim district, which left them very close. I'm talking about the eastern forces here. They've come very close now to actually seizing key places, strategic places in the city of Tripoli, including the seaport, including the GNA government's own headquarters. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this conflict develops from there. There are multiple reports, conflicting reports coming from different battlefronts around Tripoli, saying that certain places have fallen to Khalifa Haftar's forces, no, certain places have fallen to the GNA forces. It's very difficult to verify a lot of the reports that are coming from the ground, with so many conflicting reports coming in at once. But it's going to be very interesting to see the developments. Now, before the coronavirus outbreak, one could have said that the momentum was with the forces of Khalifa Haftar. However, at the same time, the GNA forces were promising some kind of counterattack. So it's going to be interesting to see again what happens in the coming month. So I thought I'd just make a little note of that. In Syria, pretty much the same thing. The conflict around Idlib has frozen after quite a eventful month in February. We now see greater cooperation between Russian forces and Turkish forces, who have been patrolling the strategic M4 highway, which connects the city of Aleppo with the port city of Latakia. Some forces loyal to Al-Qaeda linked groups have been mobilizing civilians actually to protest against these joint checks that are taking place by Turkish and Russian forces. And in a few cases, there have actually been clashes between Turkish forces and these militant groups. So it seems now that the battlefront in Idlib is seeing Turkish forces now fighting against militant groups who were previously, or still rather, fighting against the Assad regime. But that does not mean that the Turkish troops and the Syrian regime troops are cooperating. They are still at odds with each other over what's happening in Syria, and Russia is still mediating the situation.